Today's podcast is brought to you in part by John Mark Comer's book, Garden City, a book that speaks to the tension we all feel between work, rest, and purpose. The New York Times bestselling author John Mark Comer takes us to the scriptures to identify what it really means to be human and flips the script on the idea that who you are matters, not what you do. He shows that God created us for meaningful work and meaningful rest. Both matter. This book helps you ask and answer the big questions. Does God care where I work? Is there a direction for my life? So you can discern God's heart for your calling, your rhythms, and the way His Spirit wants to shape every part of your life. If you're longing for purpose and a more grounded way to live, check out the new hardcover edition of Garden City wherever books are sold.
Well, today's show is brought to you in part by the new book, God, the Science, the Evidence. We talk a lot about faith, but how often do we talk about science in the same breath? You might be surprised to discover just how deeply the two actually agree. For centuries, science has been used to dismiss the idea of God, but today an intellectual revolution is underway. Modern discoveries in physics, cosmology, and biology are consistently revealing the same truth: creation isn't an accident. That profound reversal is what engineers Michel-Yves Bolloré and Olivier Bonassi investigate in their international bestseller, God, the Science, the Evidence. This book is a rigorous, evidence-based critique of materialism, inviting you to explore over a dozen scientific, philosophical, and historical domains. It shows that what was once seemed impossible, that science could point to a creator, is now supported by a vast and convergent body of evidence. With over 400,000 copies sold in Europe, this book is sparking a global debate. It's thoughtful, fascinating, and a powerful reminder that reason itself affirms the existence of God. Learn more and find out where you can purchase your copy today by visiting godthesciencetheevidence.com.
Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Erwin McManus's book, The Barbarian Way. Some books don't just inspire you, they confront you. The Barbarian Way, now celebrating its 20th anniversary, is one of those books. If you felt the pull of God towards something deeper and wilder than the safe, predictable version of faith that we settle for, McManus reminds us that following Jesus was never meant to be tame. It's meant to awaken courage, passion, and purpose God placed inside us. He draws from the wild stories of Abel, Noah, Moses, Rahab, and others to remind us that following God wasn't meant to be tame. Safe faith isn't working. Step into the story God is writing for you. Choose passion, choose boldness, choose the Barbarian Way. Available now wherever books are sold.
This is the Relevant Podcast.
It's Friday, February 18th, 2022, and it's the Relevant Podcast. Here in Orlando, I'm your tongue-twisted host, Cameron Strang. And joining me from Loverland, Virginia, it's Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
Really hate that word. From Austin, Texas, finally she's back. Author, speaker, podcaster, Jamie Ivey. We missed you.
Hey, guys.
And, you know, because I think they have a beef. I think when Derek's here, Jamie's out. And when Jamie's here, Derek's like, I'm going to LA for a couple of days. So Derek's not with us today. So sitting in for the show is our associate editor, downtown Emily Brown, live from Paris, France. Au revoir, Emily. Is that hello or goodbye? I don't even know what I said.
That's goodbye. I was going to say it's bonjour.
Bonjour. Bonjour, Emily. How's Paris?
Beautiful. Everything that I wanted it to be. Well, actually, it's a little rainier than I wanted it to be. But other than that, that's my biggest complaint. You know, it's not a big deal.
Paris is always rainy. That's the thing, is Paris is rainy.
I know.
Did you are you the type of traveler, Emily, that when you're traveling international in a country whose primary language is not English, do you brush up? Because if me, I would just go, parlez-vous français? I don't. Just every conversation, so
Jesse,
they know.
There's a thing called Google Translate. You can just talk into your phone.
First off, Jesse, what you asked is, do you speak French? So,
yes.
Just so you know.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying.
They're looking at you like you're an idiot.
I was just clarifying. Like, do you speak it? Because I certainly do not.
I do speak it. I try to speak it at least. I took 3 years in high school and 2 years in college, but it's been a long time since I've actually used it. So I downloaded the Duolingo app. This is not an ad for them. This is just the truth. But I've been using that every day, and I try to remember a lot of the words. So it's only been a couple days, but I feel a lot more confident, like when I go out and if I have to like ask for something. The second day we were here, we went to go get, we went to the grocery store, and that took like 3 hours, because everything obviously is in French. So thankfully there's pictures so I can kind of figure out what the different products are. But, yeah, it was an experience.
Here's my downfall. When I travel internationally, I'm like the weird American that only says, like, I'll just say random Spanish phrases. And my husband's always like, Jamie, they don't know Spanish. I'm like, I know, it just comes out. Like, that's all. The only other foreign language I know is like 7 words in Spanish. And so if I don't understand what someone's saying, I automatically start speaking the 7 words I know in Spanish. And it never works well.
Yeah, I imagine it probably doesn't work that well.
Emily, do you realize you prepared 5 years for this trip? Like, you took 5 years of classes for this trip.
Yeah, and clearly it didn't really stick, so.
You have not used it in any other form. You really, right? I mean, studying all that French?
Yeah, it hasn't really helped a ton, but because I know French, I can kind of figure out Spanish when people speak Spanish, because they're very similar.
If I was with you, we could be a good team.
We could figure it out, yeah.
You know, there's Google Translate. That's all I'm saying. Is like, you don't need to do all this anymore.
That's like such an American thing to do, you know. I can't.
But I have a question about Google Translate. Like, when I remember back in the day, especially when I was a kid, as listeners of this podcast know, I spent a tremendous amount of my childhood watching television in the afternoons.
That's right.
And in the evenings, and late into the night. I loved it. And one constant theme, especially if you're watching like not a great channel, like not one of the premier channels, you kind of just got caught on like an old movie playing on like a weird channel, or just some weird like reality adventure show just drew you in. On those channels, there would always be these extended commercials for Rosetta Stone.
Yes.
Like the translate. It was basically like it would teach you to speak a language old school. Like it wasn't like an app where you could just type something in and say, translate for me. I wonder what happened to them because of Google Translate. Are they basically, is it a Blockbuster Netflix scenario where Rosetta Stone's like, dude, we're Rosetta Stone. Everyone is coming to us to learn foreign languages. That's the promise. We've been on TV for like 35 years and making a promise. Give us 2 weeks. You'll be basically fluent just using our program. And all of a sudden, you know, Google Translate comes into town, just runs them all out of business. Yep. I kind of feel bad for the Rosetta Stone
people. Think about
people.
Encyclopedia Britannica. I mean, that was a thing when we were kids. That's what you used for papers and stuff.
Yeah, it's sad to see it go. So if anyone knows, I could easily Google this, but I don't even care to do that. That's how little the brand means to me anymore.
I just wonder if they transitioned to like the technology side. Like they just needed to get an app and maybe they're doing good, but I don't know if they're even doing that.
I got to say this, considering their name is based on hieroglyphics chiseled into stone, I don't feel like they were ever the most tech set. Like technology was not their strong suit. Like
how did they send you like DVDs or something like that? I feel like I remember
CDs,
this.
I don't know what they're doing. I just looked it up.
Sorry.
Jesse, you could get a lifetime membership for just $179. Lifetime membership.
That sounds like a fire sale.
The only time I've ever experienced Rosetta Stone tapes, which was, you know, they say a phrase and then they say it in the language, right? They say it first. The only time I've ever experienced it is in the bathroom at Macaroni Grill. The chain restaurant, Macaroni Grill, the Italian restaurant. They would play the Italian Rosetta Stone CDs. And so while you're there washing your hands, you're learning little phrases in Italian. It's very helpful. Come out, feel very worldly. No, but they had great rolls, great bread.
Pasta fagioli.
That's the one where they write on the table upside down. They write their name upside down for you.
Yes, they would write on your tablecloth. All right. Well, we have a great show in store for you. So Derek's in L.A. Well, what's he doing in L.A.? Well, right now, as we're recording this, he's driving over to Prop's house. And they are recording a conversation. It's a revisit to a conversation they had this month, last year on this podcast with Tyler about Black History Month, the state of race relations at that time. Obviously, a lot of things have actually changed since then. So we wanted to kind of revisit it. And so Prop and Derek are going to be recording at Prop's house in LA. And you will hear that conversation coming up later on the show. Also, we have Epic Battle. It's the end of the Winter Olympics. I don't know if anybody has paid any attention, but yep, they're wrapping up. And we have an epic battle
that started? I was looking forward to it.
Listen, I have watched it. I want to clarify that. I have watched events.
I have not watched one.
I am an Olympics fan deep down.
Well,
Always and forever. I might be the only one, but I'll still watch
I don't stand
it.
for, atrocities and genocide, so I'm boycotting.
Okay.
So if you have boycotted the Olympics, we have something for you. We'll give you your fill of Winter Olympic fever on a very special
I don't
epic
stand
battle.
for those things either. I also don't stand for being bored. And so I have made a decision not to watch the Winter Olympics as well.
Wow.
Oh, man. So that's coming up later. But stay tuned right now. Up next, it's the all-new Relevant Buzz.
We can burn it all down £1 million, baby. Join the KLF and sail us up the Congo. There's no God to believe in. That's all I know.
You're listening to Portugal the Man. The song is What? Me Worry? Well, today's podcast is brought to you by BetterHelp Online Therapy. A lot of us will drop anything to go help someone we care about. We'll go out of our way to treat other people well, but how often do we give ourselves the same treatment? So this month, BetterHelp Online Therapy wants to remind you that you matter just as much as everyone else does, and therapy is a great way to make sure you show up for yourself. Therapy has played a major role in my life by helping me navigate through tough seasons with a counselor I trust. And BetterHelp is online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. Give it a try and see why over 2 million people have used BetterHelp Online Therapy. And right now, Relevant Podcast listeners will get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/relevant. That's BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/relevant. All right, it's time for
Relevant Buzz.
Ooh, so techie. All right, Relevant Buzz. Please welcome to the show Relevant Senior Editor Tyler Huckabee telling us what's happening at the intersection of faith and culture this week. Hey, man.
Hey, everybody.
What are your thoughts about genocide? I'm just kidding. Sorry. We were just talking about the Winter Olympics. Generally opposed. That's good. Don't tune in to NBC or Peacock.
I logged on and I heard people talking about their various opinions on genocide, and I was really hopeful that I'd missed
I would
that
like
part of
to
the
say
conversation.
all of us agree it's bad.
Yes, we all agree. Thank you, Emily.
Yeah.
Emily is on
opposed.
I will not stand for it, but I will gladly watch and support the countries that are doing it.
But I don't. But
Oh
to be
my
fair,
God. I really don't want to.
yeah.
To
To be fair, I don't think watching the Olympics is implicit support for the Chinese government. If anything, I feel like this Olympics has probably exposed a lot of people who are unaware of the depths
Thank you, Jesse.
of sort of control in that country. I actually think, in terms of raising awareness about the issues that are facing the Chinese people and the Chinese athletes, like they are victims. They are not perpetrators of they are under the thumb of an authoritarian regime. I think it's done a lot to actually expose some of that in pretty profound ways. I mean, there was a I remember turning on the TV and real talk, turning on the TV one night, just kind of curious. And it was like the high jump, and it was a weatherless, kind of gray industrial park where this manufactured ski jump had been placed. And, just thinking about sort of.
Wait, high jump. I envisioned like people just standing there trying to touch a high stick. No, it's not just jumping.
I do think an elementary school game style Olympics would be awesome. That's one thing I've been cooking up for a few years.
I like it.
You play crab soccer with that big earth ball. You play that parachute game where everyone runs under.
Yep.
You get on those little carts that have like
Field
little tiny
day.
shopping cart wheels.
Yeah.
And it's the athlete who leaves with the least smashed fingers at the end of it wins. Like the V-sit reach is a huge event. The old school stuff like that. That's aside, but then you see like in these Beijing games, reporters getting shuffled off by sort of goons hiding in the background. And I really do think it's done a lot to expose sort of the injustices that are facing the people of China.
The Chinese government wanted it to be a huge showcase of their prosperity and power, frankly. And it has done the exact opposite because it looks cold and barren and oppressed.
There are
and-
scenes that are very dystopian.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
and I think overall, I don't think watching it is any sort of implicit support. I actually think
No, it
it's,
is. Emily, that's why she watches. That's what she told me.
Nope, it is.
But I actually think, just for the sake of being like an informed global citizen, kind of watching to some degree and understanding the reality it can be a profound act for people,
Yeah. Well, that has nothing to do with the buzz that's happening this week. True. Tyler, tell us about something that's not genocide.
Gold medal, VSIT reach, American athlete. He got always touched full toes, full toe grab. Only athlete this year to do it. You guys remember VSIT reach, right?
It was a really high jump. Yeah.
Hold on. Does no one remember VSIT reach?
No.
Did no one have
I
that?
don't know what that is.
I don't know
In
what you're
my
talking
elementary school,
about. Is this a name?
Oh, that's where you had to touch your toes?
Touch your toes.
yeah, you
jump
had
up
that
and
little
touch your
cross
toes.
thing between your legs, and that you know, and then you had to reach, and there was like a little thing that they would pull down to measure
Yes.
where your fingers went,
And you had to do the sit-ups.
and
And
the
someone
pull-ups.
always farted in class. Like they're doing all the things, and then someone always farted. Did that happen in your class too?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And Farty Jones carried the name to high school, and never let it down.
We're married
It was brought
today.
up almost. It was
To this day.
brought up almost daily for the rest of his career, deep
Poor
into
Farty
college.
Jones.
Well, the other thing is, like, who
You
thinks
know,
it's a
some
great?
parent is listening to this podcast in the car, the little kid in the back, and they're like, he said fart.
The other thing too, I feel like we need to address briefly, and Tyler, I know we got some buzz to get to.
We have a
is
lot to get to.
What kind of sociopaths that design our PE curriculums in the 90s were making 9-year-olds do pull-ups in front of all their friends? Like you just don't have the body few, like that one freak athlete in class was just grinding them out.
Yeah.
And then other kids were like kind of doing that thing where they're kicking invisible air to try, or like climbing invisible stairs
Kinda like
just to
crabbing
try to
it,
get
yeah.
the chin over.
Yeah.
It's like, obviously these children don't have the body strength yet to do this. Why are you subjecting them to just public humiliation in front of the whole class? This wasn't done behind closed doors.
The president. The
Presidential
president.
challenge or something.
Yeah, the
The
presidential fitness
fitness.
test.
Yeah.
I remember I got a satisfactory certificate signed by then President Bill Clinton that hung in my room for about a year until I realized they pretty much gave these out if you showed up that day. But still, thanks, President Clinton. I'm glad your office respects my stretching ability.
Who do you think the last president that could do a full 5 pull-ups that we've had while in office was?
Obama?
Like, we're calling the presidential fitness test, which would imply the
Oh, well,
president.
Michelle for sure. If we're going to do first
Yeah.
ladies, you know Michelle.
Yeah,
did a
both
pull-up.
Obamas are setting the standard. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then before that, a long time.
Probably could.
A long
I think he was
time.
pretty good
Carter,
shape.
maybe. I could see. I don't know. W probably not as sitting president,
He's
but
wily.
he was.
No, he was wily,
He owned
yeah.
a baseball team too,
Yeah.
so he had
I
access.
mean,
to
a lot of people own baseball teams. That doesn't mean that they're like.
Yeah, they can play it. Yeah.
Hey, after
I bet
9/11,
George could.
after 9/11, and he came out and they had him throw out a first pitch. I think it was at a Nats game or it might have been a Yankees game. You know, a lot of presidents just kind of like lob one in. He went out there and threw a fastball for America right down the pipe. I'm just saying, you can say what you want about his politics. I'm just saying his athleticism. I think he'd surprise you if he got up on the pull-up
The
bar. I
look
think
of
he's got that.
satisfaction. The look of satisfaction on his face after he threw that heater, right after 9/11.
Yeah.
This was going to rally America. He just looked at the crowd like, yeah, I did that.
I got this.
I'm your
Fastball,
president.
He shook off. The catcher was like, "Hey, just throw a safe changeup, Prez." Like, there's no, and he shook it
threw
off.
heat.
No, give me the heater. Give me
He
the
probably
heater.
had like a picture of Osama bin Laden in the glove, and George is like, I'm putting it in.
2-seam fastball.
He's like, I just solved world peace with that.
Mission accomplished.
That's how he thought. Mission accomplished. The banner fell after the
He has what I call Yellowstone strength. It's like Costner. He might not be the Kevin Costner that was on Bull Durham, but he's out there on the ranch all day.
Yeah.
Baling hay.
Yep.
I'm sure he's got a couple pull-ups in him. I think the same thing about George W. Bush.
Yeah, I agree.
You guys, side note, George W. Bush is my number 1 celebrity crush. Just to let you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jamie, there is a lot to unpack there.
Listen, I'm just letting you know.
He literally said, "Wow."
If he rode up to my
I would
office
never
and he was on a
admit that.
horse and he had like some chaps
Ever.
on and a cowboy hat, my day would be done.
Have you ever met him?
George W. Bush.
No, I have never met him. Have you?
Can't believe you're saying this like on a podcast.
Listen, this is public knowledge. If anyone knows me, well,
I stepped on his daughter's foot.
Oh.
So the Secret Service didn't like that. But
that is, like I said, Jamie, I feel like there is just a tremendous amount of follow-up questions that I have that I feel like we just need to do a breakout special 2-hour episode.
There's a Texas angle. There's some daddy issues going on. I don't know.
Hey,
Not a Texas angle.
He's so handsome.
Yeah.
He's so handsome.
He is?
He's so handsome.
Emily, do you think he's handsome? Like, you don't want, like...
I don't really want to be a part of this conversation.
Emily's trying to...
I've never met him, but I have a picture of me and him in my
Stressed.
office because someone cut out Laura's face and put my face on it, so it looks like George and I are hanging out.
No. Michael Scott did that with his girlfriend
Jamie.
Carol for his Christmas
I
card.
love
and
this
she
for
broke
you,
up with
Jamie,
him.
actually.
Listen, you're going to have people my age, like 40-something women, and they're going to listen to this show, and they're going to be like, me too, Jamie. I don't want to tell anyone, but me too.
It's a whole new Me Too movement.
There it is.
This feels...
So when he threw out the first pitch after 9/11, Jamie's like, I remember it well, very well. You don't need to paint the picture for me.
He's like, he's
It's
such a
vivid
man.
in my head and my dreams every night.
He was such a man. All right. What's the buzz, Tyler?
Yeah.
Is it time?
It's time. Take it away.
What have we done?
All right.
What have we done?
Well, this is good. We're going to get back on the rails.
Hold on, we covered
This is good.
genocide? Pull-ups, George Dub crushes. I mean, come on. And that'll do it for the relevant buzz. All right, sorry.
We're getting back on. We're going to get back on the rails here, and I'll tell you how we're going to do it. We're going to start with a celebrity crush, a woman by the name of Dolly Parton. Dolly. This story kind of hit at the wrong time because we at Relevant for her birthday put together like a list of some of her most charitable causes, which that article could go well into 100,000 words, endless scroll on that one. And then right after her birthday, she tops it with a whole new story. Are you all familiar with her theme park here in the state of Tennessee, Dollywood? You've all heard of that?
Yes.
So
Dolly World.
Yeah.
She announced
Dollywood.
on this was last week on Tuesday. She announced that from now on, Dollywood Parks and Resorts will cover tuition for all employees who want to pursue their education. Not just tuition, this is fees, books, this is everything for all employees, whether full-time, part-time, or seasonal, all of whom can enroll in this program on day one of their employment. She said, our goal at Dollywood Parks and Resorts is to provide the best possible experience. Yeah, even seasonal. So if you collect a paycheck from Dollywood, then you will get any higher education you want to pursue from day one of your employment on will be covered entirely by Dollywood Parks and Resort.
So I'm assuming though you've got to stay employed for those 4 years and go somewhere local.
You probably do.
Well, I don't know because it's seasonal. So like you're not
but
employed the whole time.
You couldn't show up and like work there for a month and then go get 4 years of tuition. You know what I mean? There's got to be some sort of like long-term, because I do know certain organizations like Chick-fil-A and others will also invest in your tuition as an investment in your career, like to grow within the organization sort of a thing. So I'm curious about the fine print, but it's still an amazing gesture.
I mean,
so what you're saying, Tyler, is I could send my senior to work for the summer and then Mrs. Parton is going to pay for his first year
could you, they're hiring right now. So you should. They need help.
Listen, I think
the Ivy family.
I'm about to fill out an application for all my kids.
I went and checked. They got seasonal employment. Like there's quite a bit.
I think this is a cool story, and I think it's awesome when companies will do this for their employers. I always think back to I'm not stating any personal opinion, but there's this long-going debate about the role. What's the government's role in social issues like providing healthcare for its people, or education, or employment opportunities, social safety nets, and then there's a lot of kind of voices in the church have always been like, well, that's the church's job. The government shouldn't be doing that, and it's like, well, it's either the state's job, it's either the church's job, or we can put this all on Dollywood in Branson, Missouri. They'll figure it out. Like they will be the third rail of social benefits for the people. It is. I mean, I think it's awesome that they're doing it, and I think more employers that have the ability should do programs like this. But I think it also kind of brings up some interesting issues when just talking about the affordability of higher education in the country, and the kind of looming student debt crisis that's hanging over a generation because they weren't afforded opportunities like this.
Yeah, just to be clear, it's not in Branson, Missouri. It's in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, which is in the outer skirts of the Knoxville, Tennessee metroplex, in the foothills of the Great Smokies.
Mountains.
So
out there in the Smokies. To be
beautiful
fair,
area. Beautiful area.
It's a very pretty area. I have never been to Dollywood, but I don't believe there's like a ton of really like highly reputable higher education facilities around there right then. So this is probably better for seasonal employees who can go somewhere else in the meantime when they're not actually on the clock there. But it's a really really cool gesture. And when people who like Dolly does have a lot of extra resources, it's cool that they find ways to do it. And education is definitely her thing. So many of her charitable causes have to do with school. Mm-hmm. So it's cool to see that happening too.
Just to revisit my mistake real quick. Would you call Dollywood or would you call Branson sort of, when it comes to honky tonk entertainment, would you call it sort of JV Nashville? when it comes to honky tonk entertainment.
Branson? No, Branson's trying to be more like Christian Vegas.
Yeah.
They're not trying to, they're trying to do like shows.
Christian Vegas.
Yeah.
Christian Vegas.
Yeah. I think it's like a Christian bookstore, a palooza there. It's own thing.
Yeah. Just wild.
It's you have to be 70 or above to even cross into the city limits. And you have to enjoy the stylings of CCM stars from the 1970s and early 80s. So that's
you kind of
by law last call for dinner dessert. Okay, so dessert 5:45.
5:45. Yeah,
last call.
They don't serve coffee after 8 a.m. because they'll keep them up too.
You'll stay up all night. Yeah,
up all night.
Yeah,
they don't
want to start a riot out there. Trust us, there's a lot of pent up weirdness in Branson. So
I watch Ozark. I know what's going on. I know what the real area is. What's going down in those fields. All right. What else is going on in the buzz?
What else you got on the buzz? Oh, this is a great story. So who here has dipped into the Wordle situation? Are we all kind of playing Wordle like a Wordle?
Nope,
absolutely.
never.
Everybody in Relevant
Jamie,
is. We all talk about it in the mornings.
I play multiple
That's not
versions
true.
of Wordle.
Only 3 of us are. The other guys just look at us like we're idiots.
Yeah. Jamie's out. Jamie's not interested.
I feel like I can't add anything else that takes my attention away. But then someone's like, it's just one word a day.
3 minutes.
I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, but I've found like multiple versions of Wordle, like different
there's options.
themes.
So it's not just one word a day. See?
I'm unfortunately, and I have about 3 to 4 words every day that I got to check in on.
Mm-hmm.
I hope this is evident to listeners and my fellow castmates, but I preserve all mental energy for podcasting pursuits. And that leaves me not 1 ounce of mental power will I use for word games, Tyler.
Well, that's on you, Jesse. Maybe you should. And here's why. Because Wordle actually ended up saving a woman's life in the Chicago area last week. This is a crazy story. Let me tell you what happened. So a woman in California grew concerned when her 80-year-old mother, Denise, failed to send her usual Wordle update score. You know that you see it probably on social media, people posting their Wordle scores in the colored boxes. Yeah. So she got concerned because her mother had been doing this every day. So she texted her sister, who also hadn't heard from their mother. The 2 women, their names are Jennifer and Meredith, they tried to call their mother's home in Chicago, discovered the phone line had been disconnected. They were worried about her, so they called the police, asked them to do a wellness check on their mother. And it's a good thing they did too, because when the police arrived, they found that their mother was being held hostage. She had been locked in her basement by a stranger who had broke into her house during the night. She had been trapped in the basement there for 20 hours by the time the police finally showed up and were able to free her. They were able to arrest the man who had intruded and put him in jail, obviously. And without Wordle, this woman would still be in the basement. She would still be trying to figure it. She'd be running out of things to do. She didn't even have her iPhone, so she couldn't play Wordle. There was nothing she could have spent her time on doing there. And so she credited this with literally, in this case, saving her life from a very dangerous person who had broken in that night. So that, Jesse, is why I think it might be time for you to, if not Wordle, then something that we would know. If we don't get this from you at some point during the day, maybe we should check on Jesse.
Is Wordle though just like a social media flex for smart people, where like people that are like getting into marathoning, they're posting their times every morning. It's like, hey, great, you ran a 8:30 pace on your 5K. I'm glad, friend from high school I haven't spoken to since graduation. I'm up to date on your 5K times. But I feel like with Wordle, it's like, why are you posting your school? Like, what is like? Is there gamesmanship in posting the score? Why do I see them all day? Every day.
People are proud of getting it in few guesses and they're wanting to tell their friends, but it's a guessing game. I mean, yes, after a few enough clues, there's a little bit of figuring out a puzzle sort of a thing, but those first few guesses are guesses. It's just literally throwing noodles on a wall, seeing if any stick. And so like to me, it's like bragging about a couple extra noodles sticking, like my noodles stuck better than your noodles. You had nothing to do with it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it was just random. I just find it funny that people who actually like think it shows that they're intelligent, because it really doesn't. I'm sorry. It's just a fun little mind puzzle, you know?
I'm picturing that it's like Wheel of Fortune. You have to figure out what the word is, right?
It's like, what's that game? Isn't there a game like Mastermind or something like that?
Yeah,
like
it is kind of like Mastermind with letters instead of like colors. Yeah.
Colors.
Yeah. Colored pegs.
Yeah. So it's basically that.
It's fun. I mean, I do it while I'm making coffee.
Oh, we play Mastermind all the time. I know you're talking about with the colored thing. Yeah.
You would enjoy it, Jamie.
It's
not difficult. It's
not going to suck my time all day long.
Limited. No. It takes a like 3 minute. Yeah, it's a 2-3 minute thing.
I'll do it today.
It's a nice little brain break.
And then I'll post my score so everyone can see it.
There's also a Taylor Swift version that I love to play.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Also, Jamie, if you get, if it's basically like going to let us know if you ever have fallen and can't get up. It's going to be great. If, she hasn't posted her score, somebody go knock on her door.
You know what, Cameron, that you said that? On Monday, I came to work and I have a really bad back and my back went out and I fell and I was the only one in the office. I was crying. You got I was really, really hurt.
Do you have your phone?
Right? I had my Apple Watch on. I could be one of those commercials.
Oh, wow.
The Apple Watch, I didn't fall that hard that it notified anyone, but I was able to call someone to come help me get up. I felt like that commercial we used to see, like I fall and I can't get up. That was literally me. But thanks to the Apple Watch.
They would usually bookend. Those commercials would usually bookend about a half-hour Rosetta Stone infomercial. Not going to lie, I invested heavily in both products. Ironically, both have been driven out of business by technology. So,
my grandmother had one of those things. They wore it like a little necklace because she wanted to live on her own, and the kids were like, "You're 91 years old and you're going to wear this, or you're not living on your own."
See? Now we have the Apple Watch.
That makes sense.
Yeah. All right. What else?
The last story of the day. This is just very, very short, but our very good friends, Abner and Amanda Ramirez, better known as Johnny Swim, have announced a new album, a self-titled album. Finally, this is their first since 2019. They will be releasing next month, and then they're going to be promoting it by going on tour. They released the first single from this album. It's called Heaven Is Everywhere. Clark, I think we have a little clip of that. Can you play that?
Well, look at us dancing. We don't need all the answers. Don't need them to know. Heaven is everywhere. Heaven is everywhere. Heaven is everywhere. Can't you feel it? Heaven is everywhere. Heaven is everywhere.
I like it. There you go.
A band has arrived, and they're definitely a respected group. When someone like Abner can pull off a hat like that in that video, which Tyler, can you describe
the hat for that? This is an audio medium.
Yeah, maybe describe the hat.
I would say it's a black, not quite. It's somewhere between pork pie and cowboy hat. Somewhere in that interesting middle ground. That's sort of all its own. Abner pulls it off very well. And it's unquestioning because they're Johnny Swim. I'm just saying, if I walked outside with that hat on, I'd probably get some comments. I think Abner's in the clear at this point.
I think, Clark, wasn't it you that back when they sent us a photo for a spread we did on them in the magazine a while back, and you started photoshopping the hat just to be slightly larger? At first it was almost unnoticeable, but you kept sending it over until finally it was like, that hat is looking a little strange. And then
It got ridiculously large at one point, but yeah.
Have you seen like on like IG and stuff like like these guys, like a boyfriend who's mad at his girlfriend, the way like he acts out is like he'll just slightly edit their photos where her forehead is a little bit bigger than it should be. Like have you seen this? Or like he'll just like modify things, but it's not so obvious, but it's just it's off. That was Clark with Abner's hat. Yeah. It was just like
it was a Friday. I was feeling,
I don't know that that's
a little spicy.
That's big. That's bigger than I remember.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what Amanda does when there's like tension in their relationship. She swaps it out with just like slightly bigger hats over and over again throughout their marriage until one day he can't fit through the door anymore. It's like, wait a minute.
One day he's wearing that old Pharrell.
That Pharrell Oscars hat. Dudley Do Right.
Yep. When did this happen?
There's a lot more where that came from. The buzz is just a little taste of the sort of stuff we're covering every day over at Relevant. Follow us on all the socials and make sure that relevantmagazine.com is part of your daily web browsing to stay in the know. Thanks, Tyler.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, that's it for Relevant Buzz. Stay tuned. Up next, Tyler talks to Derek Minor and propaganda.
Always on the run, towers to sun. We always wonder why we love it, why we love. Always on the run, towers to sun. We always wonder why we love it, why we
You're listening to Mid and Johnny. This song is The Sun. Well, last year, Derek Minor and Propaganda sat down with us for an honest roundtable conversation with Tyler about Black History Month and everything else going on with racial injustice and race relations at that time. Well, we thought we'd check in with them again to see how they're feeling a year later, if any thoughts have changed or stayed the same. Here's our 2022 conversation with Derek Minor and Propaganda.
All right. Hey, guys. I was wondering for you guys, do you remember what Black History Month was like for you when you were kids growing up? And has that changed for you now, especially now that you're dads and you have your own kids? Do you want them to have a different experience than you did when you were kids with it?
Prop, you the Black Panther. I know that mug was Wakanda at your crib.
At my house. Yeah. At my house, we went hard in Black History Month. It was
sure
films, you know what I mean? Freaking book reports. Like it was, I had to give my daddy a book report.
Like what movies?
Some of them were from like the Blaxploitation era.
Like Superfly and
okay, Hero Ain't Nothing But a Sandwich.
No,
that was my favorite movie from Black. Hero Ain't Nothing But a Sandwich. At school though, it was like, you color a picture of Martin Luther King. That's about it.
Yeah. I mean, I ain't gonna even lie. Like Black History Month was not lit at our house. That mug was all right. Martin Luther King freed the slaves, and and Malcolm X had a gun, and it was you know what I'm saying? Because my mom used to work like 50 hours a week, so she was pretty much a single mom.
It was a lot of trivia now that I think about it. It was like, who was the first Black person to this? Who invented this? Did you know that this was invented by? It was a lot of like trivia, kind of like, as I think about my childhood.
Yeah. See, for me, learning Black history was a necessity because as I got older, I'm an inquisitive person. So I'm not able to just accept, Black people own half of the percent of wealth in the country, but at the same time, we built most of the country. Like, I had to find the answer to that question. Yeah. And that's kind of what led me on my current iteration of just figuring out is like, who am I? Where did I come from? What stock am I from? You know what I'm saying? Like it became a thing, it wasn't a thing I grew up with though, for sure.
because you were going to get that education from the public school system, right? Like that was not that was not going to be on the radar.
Absolutely. In rural Tennessee, they were gonna tell me everything that I needed to know the correct way.
I mean, I ain't getting to South Central LA. Right. You know what I'm saying? Listen, like one of the things, like I think it's like this is part of like the frustration to me about like this whole modern talk about teaching critical race theory. And I'm like, none of us were taught it. What are you talking about? Like, it's not happening. I learned in college. Everything I know about Black people was outside of school, you know? And then it's like, when you stretch the term, I feel like you just talking about, you calling anything that was just bad that happened to anybody that happened to be a product of racism, you call it critical race theory. And I'm like, you're just calling it that. It's not what it is. And so I'm like, you just mad about y'all did some horrible stuff in the past. You don't want us to talk about it. That's what, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not critical race theory. Like, I didn't know what that was until college. I don't understand what y'all talking about. Nobody taught us anything in Black history.
Dog, I'm gonna keep it real. I don't even know what critical race theory is right now. I done read 14 articles, 3 books on it. I'm like, I don't know what, cause there is critical race theory, and then there's what people are calling critical race theory. That's what I'm like,
not critical race theory.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't know what this, at this point, I don't know what this is. Like, I'm like, all I know is that the history of Black people right now, there's a war on telling our story. At the end of the day, I'm like, I don't know what benefit we get from telling people the trauma of our story. And most of the time, we're not even trying to tell it to anyone but ourselves. Like, hey, Black guys, did you know Black people invented this? Hey, Black guys, did you know this? Hey, did you know the reason why the prison is full of Black people is because of the prison industrial prison complex? Like, it's like Black people are sharing notes now. Like, so my time with Prop is like, he's like, well, hey, I learned this from my family in South Central. And I'm like, well, hey, I grew up here and my grandparents are from Mississippi and we learned this. And it's like, what's happening is we're just sharing notes and trying to figure out, because we couldn't read, we couldn't write. All of our culture was destroyed. And every time we did write stuff down, it got burnt up and destroyed. So like, we're now again trying to put together our history in this country. And now it's become some sort of thing.
Like, you know what I mean? And the bizarre part to me too is like, we're all here. Life and history is happening all at the same time. So I'm like, this is your history too.
Yeah.
Like that, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's the part that I'm like, either you don't know what history means or you're being disingenuous.
Right.
Because it's your history too. Like, you were there.
So I'm curious about, like, having said all of that we were just talking about, what do you feel like is let's say the power or the difference now that sharing notes, like you were talking about, now that that's possible, what sort of power is in that, or what sort of future can that build that maybe wasn't accessible in the past before that?
That's a good question. I know for me, where this journey has led me is I've been probably in a state of mourning for years. Like, just being honest, like it's been cause it's almost like people could probably relate with this. Imagine doing like you heard those stories of people doing like ancestry.com. And then you find out like your dad is not your dad.
Yeah.
You find out you got like 6 brothers or something like that. Like it feels that way. Like it's disorienting in that way, that the things that were so core to what you thought, because America indoctrinates you with this idea of everybody has freedom. Everybody's always had freedom. And even the way that slavery is taught about, it's almost as if America is not even talking about itself. it's like, yeah, and there was a war and we freed the slaves. Hey, you know what I mean? It's not that we made the slave.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we freed. There was a war and there was bad guys in the South and we freed the slaves.
Yeah.
And it's like, no. Everybody was a part of this.
Yes.
Everybody was a part of this. Like it wasn't no liberal and conservative. Everybody was in the Confederate.
Yeah.
They were all together.
And that's what I mean by like, this is your history too. Like, you keep trying to not, no, it's your history. I think there's two things happening. For me, it's like the idea of knowing that like, you know, stories, you know, form identity, you know what I'm saying? And having us be able to reshape and rethink our own identities have been something that's super powerful. It's very hard to be sort of lied to, you know what I'm saying, when you're able to cross coordinate, you know what I'm saying, and triangulate and be like, no, because there's this, and no, I learned from there, you know what I'm saying? So I think that like it's much more difficult to like dupe, you know, a community into believing something false about themselves when we're able to compare notes. The mainline understanding of racism is that it is an act of the heart and that only a person can be racist. You know what I'm saying? So if you remove racist persons, right, or if something happens that's against that narrative, then racism must be solved.
Right.
What we are trying to tell you is that racism is experienced in almost every intersection of our lives because it's systemic. So that means a person don't even gotta be there for me to experience racism because it's a part of the system, right? Because racist people created racist systems. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can leave because once the system is set, you can leave.
America's supposed to be like, yo, if you put the work in and you're good, you don't have to be good. You don't have to be good at everything. You don't have to be the greatest. But if you find a way to earn a decent wage, you're going to get what you're supposed to get. And I think that that's the issue is like, yo, like, and then also on top of that, we have the worst schools. That's not our fault. Like, I mean, literally the lines in most school districts is built around the poverty line. So the money, the tax dollars that the rich go in, it goes straight to, it goes straight to the rich people to be able to educate them more. And then the people in the poor areas, they don't get the same education.
We've been talking a lot about new systems. Like, well, we talk about old systems for the most part, like old systems that even if you took the racists out, the racism would still run really smoothly because they're running on autopilot at this point. Yeah. What does building new systems look like? Is that even possible? Like when you start thinking about recreating a future with systems of justice and equality, that sounds like a really, really big job. Is there hope that it can be done?
Absolutely.
Book about it.
Right.
Yeah. Called Terraform. Yeah. Which is about like the imagination and having a prophetic imagination and realizing that, you know, I think the idea of this, we have to start with the idea of understanding that the systems we exist in now were just made up. You know, they don't exist in nature. They were somebody's, and they were made up to serve something. You know what I mean? So when you start interrogating, like, who made this up and why and for what purpose, you know what I'm saying? Then we could start saying, okay, well, let's examine those things. If the purpose was just capital, right, then there's nothing wrong with the system. You know what I'm saying? But if the purpose is for a more perfect union, for like we said, for what the brochure says, then we start with that goal and then you reverse engineer. Liberty and justice for all men are created equal. Okay, well then, if we believe this, then we need to set up an infrastructure, a baseball field that considers that if you own this field and of sound mind, you got the same shot as everybody else.
That was our friends Derek Minor and Propaganda. Stay tuned. Up next, oh boy, it's Epic Battle.
Potent words get applauded and cheered. Too much negativity throughout the atmosphere. Whether your actions heard or your words are seen, know that life is in the tongue and affects human beings. That's why I embrace the face of hate. Cause when your crops get growing, you've created your fate. And that's no need for moves to make. Just know what I've been given and live life like God is great. Lessons have been learned, it's ongoing though. Boy, the man that will never sing end of the road. Cause the moment you arrive is when you die.
You're listening to Direct. The song is Wheel Back, Come Again. Okay, it is time for
Epic Battle.
Epic Battle Winter Olympics Edition. So for those of you who care about genocide and have not been watching the Winter Olympics,
Okay.
this is your taste into a genocide-free Olympics experience. So, Emily, you all right? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right. So what we're going to do is Epic Battle. As you know, we are here to settle the internet's arguments. You know, who's better, Batman or Dr. Doolittle? I don't know. We're gonna decide once and for all. And so we are doing teams. Tyler has rejoined us. Hey, Tyler.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we are going to do Epic Battle Winter Olympics Edition. So here's the teams. Ready? It's going to be Emily and Tyler. You could be thinking of your team name versus Jamie and Jesse.
Great.
Emily and Tyler, what's your team name?
Oh, man.
Genocide haters.
Well, they're both. They're both. Emily's in France right now, so and yes. I've obviously been over there before. Let's go with the Parisians.
The Parisians versus who's y'all's team name?
Jamie, what are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm on some pain pills these days, so I'm feeling great today.
The pain pills. I like it. The pain pills versus the Parisians. All right, here we go.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys each a person, and then I will give you the thing that they will be competing in. You will debate style tell me why your person will win the thing, and then Clark will be the decider. All right, here we go. Pain pills, you have Johnny Knoxville, and Parisians, you have John Cena in Julia Fox's Kanye mandated outfit. So John Cena is wearing that outfit that Julia Fox was having to wear. Now, I'm not clear, Tyler. Is it the smoky eyes? Do you guys have the cat eye makeup on John Cena?
Also the makeup.
That's what I was thinking.
The full thing.
Yeah.
All right. Got it.
Makeup.
Okay. So Johnny Knoxville versus John Cena.
Yeah.
Thigh-high boots, the whole puffy jacket thing. Yeah.
Right.
John Cena wearing Julia Fox's Kanye mandated outfit versus Johnny Knoxville in figure skating. Figure skating. Who would do better in figure skating? All right.
Okay.
So up first, pain pills. Tell me why Johnny Knoxville would be the better figure skater.
Well, I'm a huge fan of the catalog of Johnny Knoxville, having watched it extensively starting at about the age of 13. And I will say this. The man is a master of disguise as well as a phenomenal athlete. He did a whole Bad Grandpa movie. He could wear anything and do anything. He's also very nimble. One thing I've noticed, I've watched a surprising amount of figure skating the last couple of days, and you would think that the more sort of muscular a figure skater is, the faster they could spin and do flips and things like that. It's really about being limber and just pure courage. I mean, flinging yourself into the air with metal blades on your feet, not knowing the outcome. That's pure Johnny Knoxville. I would actually think that Johnny Knoxville would be very entertaining to watch compete in any of the Olympic Games, because not like a normal untrained athlete who would just go out there very cautious. He would just literally just go for it. Like triple axel, never even attempted it before. Hasn't even practiced it, hasn't even thought through the motion. He's going to fling his body up. I feel like the answer's obvious here.
All right. So Parisians, tell me why John Cena in Julia Fox's outfit would be better at figure skating.
Emily, you want to run point, or should I take it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I think John Cena, specifically in Julia Fox's outfit, would do great because part of figure skating is wearing what I have to assume are not very comfortable outfits. They just don't really look that fun. So he's already like got a leg up there, right? He feels comfortable wearing ridiculous clothing with ridiculous makeup. He also is an athlete himself. He was a wrestler. Don't know how well that would translate to figure skating, but I feel like being an athlete has got to be some points.
You know, like he doesn't look like he could flow very well to me. I don't know.
Well, that's because you've never seen him figure skate.
All right, rebuttal, pain pills.
Well, I mean, Jesse, you can fill in the blanks here, but because I have no surprise to you guys, have never seen a movie that Johnny Knoxville is in. So,
but you know who he is, right?
No one. Yeah, I know who he is. Jack, right?
Yeah.
Can I say that?
No, you can't.
Yeah.
I can't bleep it out. No, I know who it is, but I think something that he brings to the competition that we cannot disregard as anything less than is that he is a master of stunts. And really, if you think about figure skating, they're just creating stunts throughout the whole routine. I mean, it is one stunt after another. Sometimes we can't even believe what we see with our eyes because of how amazing they are. And I think that he's going to bring that to the sport.
I like it.
For sure.
I like it. All right. Final point, Parisians.
Yeah.
Well, I like Johnny Knoxville. I'm a fan of Johnny Knoxville, but I think what's gonna kill him in this is that he does not have to land his stunts. That's that's his whole thing. Is that they're supposed to go awry. The more awry it goes, the better it is for everybody watching. Johnny Knoxville, John Cena, during his time as a professional wrestler, had to land everything with precision. It had to be on, or somebody was going to get hurt or possibly even die. John Cena is he's a surgeon in this, where Johnny Knoxville is just doing a smash and grab situation. So I think scientifically, just in terms of their experience as athletes, which they both are, John Cena is just going to be a stronger pick because he has to land it. He knows how to land it. That's not something Johnny Knoxville's ever had to worry about.
Interesting. All right, Clark, who convinced you the most? Who wins this battle?
I mean, I am a Johnny Knoxville fan, but I do think that he would probably just end up like stunting the whole thing. So I think it's probably John Cena would take it.
John Cena and Julia Fox's.
Hey, Clark, newsflash for you. All figure skating is stunting. Like, that's how else would you describe it?
It's choreography.
So it's professional wrestling.
And that's what wrestlers do.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it requires full commitment. Have you seen any John Cena movie? It doesn't look like he's really full commitment here. It looks like he's about half boning.
Trying.
Yeah, exactly. It's not going to win you a gold medal.
All right, next up is Dwayne Johnson immediately after his Super Bowl kickoff speech. Dwayne Johnson immediately after he fired up the crowd versus Dr. Ellie Sattler, played by Laura Dern from Jurassic Park. Who would be better at curling?
Oh.
Curling. Okay, so
who has who?
Pain pills, you have Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson immediately after his Super Bowl kickoff speech. And Parisians, you have Dr. Ellie Sattler, Laura Dern from Jurassic Park, curling. All right, pain pills, tell me why Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson immediately after his Super Bowl kickoff speech would be better at curling. You got to remember, he's got a lot of adrenaline coursing through his vein.
Yeah.
And curling is...
Don't give any hints.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. No, I really was fired up for that game after that whole get it going. I was ready. And I think when you think about curling, it's a very intimidating sport because, it's precise. You've got to get that little disc thing right where you need to go. But I think that Dwayne would intimidate his competition so much, it would rattle their nerves. Like they would get so rattled that they would have a really hard time using the precision that they would need. So I just think, man, that fist pump, those veins, that arm, his voice, they can't even compete with him on the other side of that curling table, whatever it is.
I just Googled because you said disc or something. I just wanted to know what the thing was called. Stone. It's a stone.
Oh, but I actually am not 100% sure what curling is, but it's where they push the thing, right?
Yeah, across the ice, and there's like sweeping and stuff.
Yeah.
So like, so they yell a lot, and so like literally one of the questions right under the entry of what curling is why do they yell in curling? It says much of the yelling that goes on during a curling game is the skip and sweepers exchanging information about the stone's line and weight and deciding whether to sweep. The skip evaluates, so the skip is the pusher, evaluates the path of the stone and calls to the sweepers to sweep as necessary to maintain the intended track. So that's the yelling. Interesting.
As I'm about to say what I'm about to say, I recognize how it sounds coming out of my mouth. But one night I watched a very lengthy curling documentary, and I already knew all that information from that, Cameron, and fascinating story and the strategy behind the game. It's actually an evolving game. They had to change the rules at one point because there was this one guy who basically hacked it and figured out how to win every time. And so they had to change rules. Anyway, curling culture, the whole story. I can't remember what the name of this film was, but I'll bring it to another episode. If you're interested, a very good curling documentary that brings you up to speed on all this. It's out there on Netflix.
I bet there's only one. I bet we could find it.
Curling documentary. Yeah,
I'll find it right now.
Yeah, right. But it's gonna give you back a whole lot of weightlifters talking about how to build up your biceps and triceps.
Oh yeah, sure.
Sorry.
Sure.
All right. The aim of curling is to slide stones across a sheet of ice towards a target called the house. Teams score points based on how many stones are closer to the house than the other teams. So it's a lot like those bar games. Anyway, all right. Parisians, tell us why Dr. Ellie Sadler, played by Laura Dern from Jurassic Park, would be better at curling than Dwayne Johnson.
Well, two things here. First up, I understand that Dwayne Johnson's an intimidating opponent, but this is a woman who's faced down Tyrannosaurus Rexes, packs of raptors. Dwayne is, he's a big guy, but I just don't. I think once you've looked a dinosaur in the face, you're just not as scared of normal people. So I'm gonna refute that point, and then I'm gonna say that Dr. Ellie Sadler, she's an archaeologist, and I don't know what this thing is called, but they spend a lot of time sweeping bones and fossils off, getting all the dust off them very, very carefully. That looks kind of like curling, what they're doing. All that looks like the sweep.
Lots of sweeping.
I think that she's been, in some ways, kind of training for this her entire professional career.
Too. Yeah.
It would be a one-to-one translation from archaeology to curling, is what I'm saying.
Interesting.
Pretty clearly.
All right. Back to the pain pills. Why rebuttal, please?
Well, first off, it's a documentary as part of a series called Losers on Netflix, and the episode's called Stone Cold.
Okay, we got it.
And I learned in that episode that the stone actually comes from a single island off the coast of Ireland. All curling stones, all real ones, because of the precision of weight. And if there's one human on Earth that I feel like deeply understands movement and precision of weight, it's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I mean, I'm pretty sure all he does most days is move weights from one position to the other with reasonably accurate precision. That's all. He has spent more time in his life than I think most humans living on this planet thinking about how to move heavy things with his bare hands.
Wow.
Seems like curling's a natural fit for this man. I feel like these are very similar hobbies when it comes to understanding moving large cylinder, round weights.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. Final point. Parisians.
I would argue that The Rock is actually too strong for curling, because when you look at the actual athletes that are curlers, they are not these like massive gym bros whose biceps are 3 times the size of their head. They're like normal size. So I think The Rock, while he might try to be precise, I think he would miss every time because he's too strong. But Ellie Sadler, she knows her strength and she knows science, so she would figure out some algorithm to help. Physics. I don't know. Physics. There we go. That's the science I was looking for.
Interesting. All right, Clark, who convinced you?
I'm gonna say I think curling. It appears that it requires a lot of endurance. The sport does. So I'm gonna say The Rock.
All right, pain pills. You're on the board. All right.
You did not see Laura Dern run through Jurassic Park then.
Got a couple more. Here we go.
She's been doing it for like 35 years. She's in the new one, so that's pretty impressive too.
Yeah.
All right, pain pills.
Good stamina.
Pain pills, you have the Blinking Underdogs, Oscar Isaac's Christian ska band. Parisians, you have the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. Who would win in the luge? Pain pills, you're up first.
Easy.
So who do we say one more time?
You have the Blinking Underdogs, which is Oscar Isaac's Christian ska band. And Parisians, you have the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants battling in the luge. Pain pills, you're up first.
Well, here we go. The luge seems like an activity that someone who's not really thinking about the future indulges in. Right. I mean, it seems like the most reckless legal sport.
Like lay on a sled and fling yourself down.
Not even like a sled. Basically lay on two blades,
Right.
with a tiny piece of fiberglass between you and a sheet of ice, while we watch you go 70 miles an hour with zero margin for error. Oh, and the only pads you get is a tiny helmet.
And also you lay on top of your teammates. So you have the entire ska band, the Blinking Underdogs, laying on top of each other on the luge sled. So
they're all going at the same time?
Yeah, they lay on top of each other, like on each other's back.
Two people.
No, but this situation is you have the entire ska band on top of each other. You could go 4 deep. You go 4 deep.
I got it.
My larger point is this. The reason I think they would do so well is because the athletes who do luge are not thinking about their future. They can't, because what they're doing is insanely reckless. Right. People who were in 90s ska bands were also not thinking that very, very much about the future, because they knowingly decided to join a ska band. They were very in the moment and not wondering that if 25 years later, if people on a podcast would still be making fun of them for their decision to be in a ska band. I feel like the luge mindset is right in that. They're not thinking about the future. Yeah. They're in the moment.
That's good.
If there's anyone more prepared, it's a former member of a ska band. I rest my case.
All right, Parisians, tell us why the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants would be better at the luge.
I've got this. These 4 girls were born on the same day, so they have like this deep bond that this ska band could never have. So these girls know each other better than they know anyone else in the world. And I feel like luge is all about trust, because as we've talked about, it is a really weird sport. You're going very fast. You're just laying on top of one another. I need to trust the person who's either on top of me or beneath me. I don't know. I don't really know how you direct anything in luge, but the person I'm going to trust is someone who is a literal day one friend who I've known my entire life. So that's why the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants will be better in luge and also win gold.
Having never seen the Sisterhood, is the thing that they're sharing pants, like one pair of pants? Is that the thing?
It's deeper than that.
And the crazy thing, it's a very large pair that they wear at one time, and they hop around.
I mean, that would help in the luge. They're all bundled into that one pair of pants. All right, back to pain pills. Rebuttal, please.
I'm ready. A couple of things I would like to say is, if we're going to talk about the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, only one of them will be able to wear the pants at one time. So I think that's going to be a distraction while they're on top of each other. The pants issue is going to be a big deal.
3 pantsless women with one panted woman.
They wear other pants.
Okay.
It's not appropriate. So then the Blinking Underdogs, we talk about that you have to trust your teammates and you've got to be in sync.
Right.
And I'm no musician, but I'm married to a musician. And what I know about musicians is they always know where the next person's going. Woo. They're so in sync that they know if they go off on this little riff, then they go there, and they just can stick together no matter what. And I think that's going to help them on the luge.
I like it. Okay. Rebuttal.
Nailed it.
Final point.
All right. I need to confer with my teammate for a moment. Emily, is it true?
Yes.
I have never seen this movie. But is it true that the pair of pants kind of fits all of them mysteriously? There's something quasi-magical about it?
Yes,
Is that
they
correct?
all have different body types, but this one pair of pants fits them. If you know anything about women's jeans, that never happens.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
This is true friendship magic.
Are they the sweatpants that look like jeans? You know what I'm saying?
No, they're real jeans.
They're
Flared before we had those.
Flared jeans. Okay, I got this. So we know that these women have some sort of almost sort of mystical power to fit into the same space together, despite the implausibility of the physics. That is what luge looks like to me from the outside. That's what seems to be happening while they're going down there. And I think that the fact that they'd all be able to fit into this same space just physically is something that the Blinking Underdogs would not be able to do. So they would actually be able to compete and complete together as one. And I just don't think the Blinking Underdogs have the ability to all fit onto the same little little sled thing. So yeah, I'd say Blinking Underdogs lose by default, and the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants goes over the finish line.
All right, Clark, who convinced you in this final epic battle?
I was so inspired by Emily's take. I think it's the Sisterhood.
It was beautiful.
I defer to the judges. All right. So the winners are the Parisians. They beat the Pain Pills by 2-1 in the Winter Olympics edition of Epic Battle.
Epic Battle. 'Cause
Well, before we wrap things up, I want to thank Derek Miner and Propaganda for joining us and having that honest discussion. It's an important conversation. It was really good. I'm glad we did that. Well, you can read their full conversation over on our site. We transcribed it. It's good. Share it. Read it. Also, while you're at the site, make sure to check out the winter issue of Relevant. You can check out thoughtful think pieces. That's redundant. The churches that are tackling medical debt, deconstruction. And obviously we have huge A-list celebrities like Lin-Manuel Miranda, Denzel Washington, Andrew Garfield, and so many more. Go check it out. It's right there in the magazine tab. Just click magazine right there at relevantmagazine.com. Also, make sure to sign up for our daily newsletter right there on the front page and sidebar and all the articles. It's our top 5 trending stories sent to your inbox every morning. It's a great way to keep in touch with the best of the best. And if you want to keep in touch with everything we're putting out, make sure to follow Relevant on all the socials. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, a little bit on TikTok even. There you go. Go follow Relevant. And if you like the show, if you like what we're doing here, make sure to rate it and review it wherever you listen. It helps the algorithm, helps people discover it, and we love the feedback. Well, I should say we love the positive feedback. If you're going to do like a 3 or lower star review, just keep it to yourself. There's no need for that in the world. Just keep the negativity to yourself. If you like the show, go rate it and review it. All right. On that note, we'll wrap it. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm Jamie Ivey.
I'm Emily Brown.
You're Emily in Paris.
And I'm Tyler Huckabee.
There you go. All right. We'll see you guys on Tuesday. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Thanks for listening to the Relevant Podcast. Check out our features, interviews, and news updates every day at relevantmagazine.com. And make sure to follow Relevant on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest. For more great podcasts, browse the shows on the Relevant Podcast Network, which you can find at our site. And while you're there, don't miss the all-new era of Relevant Magazine. A new issue releases every other month at relevantmagazine.com.
Farty Jones carried the name to high school.
Relevant Podcast Network.
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care. Go to Dutch.com to get vet care that is always there for just $92 a year.